what's up everybody? This is Duo Fox here. I'm gonna go completely improv on this one. So the warning, still stands about like if I don't sound completely coherent, don't get pissed off at me. Basically, I feel like this would be the perfect time to do this commentary because basically I just got back from a water park where there were
attack
tons
people with
of
them?
diverse
When I'm
people.
attacked.
I spent about 5 hours there, and I dealt with all types of people. I don't know where the gameplay is.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. So I dealt with all kinds of people. So I wanted to start off by talking about, I pretty much wanted to talk about just like, I don't know, racism and like the way you judge people and everything. And stereotypes. So basically, I'm going to come clean and say that I do believe in a lot of stereotypes, all types, every stereotype, because 80% of the people generally will fill that quota or that stereotype like all the time, or not necessarily all the time, but a lot of the time. I don't discriminate. I think all stereotypes. I mean, if you're gonna fall into that stereotype, it's like whatever. I don't say, oh, if you're this, then you're probably bad at this or whatever. I usually do it the other way. I'll be like, oh, typical, but obviously everybody can be bad drivers or, I don't know, other stuff. I don't know, that was the only one I can think of. But yeah, so basically at this water park today, I've been trying to be a lot more, like, open-minded and just treat people equally, because, so for example, there were a lot of black people there. More than I ever have seen in my bubble life. And I mean, what I generally try to do is just treat them like people. I mean, if they're in the way, I'll say, excuse me, if whatever. I don't usually show them that I'm scared of them or whatever, because a lot of white people are like scared of black people. And I don't know why. I guess just because they're usually so polarized, it's like, when are you ever going to see like a community that's completely integrated? I've yet to see one, so I just assume there aren't any out there. Just treat people like people. Same thing goes for Asian people. Like, yes, there's a lot of Asian people like that fulfill stereotypes, but that's generally just because they're recent generations. If you give it probably 100 years, you're not gonna see the bad driver. That was in air quotes, because like they got to have their permit. They got to drive with like an instructor here instead of just going to take their license test. So you're not going to see those bad drivers. You're going to see everybody's going to be the same at driving, everything, blah, blah, blah. Same thing in school. I mean, I'm going to say that I have a lot of classes with Asian people, and Indian people for that matter. And I used to think, they had a leg up on me, but I mean, I understand that, not to sound arrogant here, but I really like my life, and compared to their life, I feel like my life is really awesome, because yes, they want to go far in life, and I understand they take a lot of hard classes. I mean, that's up to them. I don't feel like they have an advantage over us, but I also don't feel like they're doing it because they're forced to. I feel like, they just want to get ahead or whatever, and that's what their parents expect of them. For me, on the other hand, my parents just say, whatever happens is your fault, and that's taught me a lot of responsibility. For example, basically from day one, I've always challenged myself a good amount. I've always gotten good grades, just personal. Like, I've never had any incentive, never an allowance bump. I don't even get allowance, but never an allowance bump, never, a pat on the back, never really anything. It's just more of like, I don't know. I just feel like if I want to go far in life, I have goals, I have dreams. The only way to fulfill them is to do X, Y, and Z, and I'll take those steps. So I feel like I like my life a lot more because this is giving me a chance to balance, basically. So I've gotten, to weigh the school and the personal life. So after school, maybe I'll have an hour of homework, but that gives me 5 hours to go to the gym, play video games, hang out with friends, which I can do now, like a lot, because it's like senior year, so it's even more of a freedom. I know people still taking 4 AP classes, and I'm not saying they could be smarter than me. Maybe they are smarter than me. There's not really a way of knowing, but they're definitely more applied than me, and I feel kind of bad for them because I feel like they're kind of skipping the whole child thing. I did a commentary about this where people just grow up way faster than they used to. It kind of sucks because I feel like I'm savoring being a kid, but I know people that once they get into junior year, they're done being a kid. They got to put on their big boy panties or pants or whatever you want to call them, and they got to go into the basically go into the workforce without actually getting paid. They work their asses off. They become mindless drones simply to get into a better college, which brings to my next point. Or not my next point, but just another. I mean, once you go to college, people look at the college you go to, but they also look at what grades you got and what you did with your major. It's not all about where you went. It is a lot about that, but when jobs are looking for you, my sister got hired out of a top 100 school, but it was like probably 90th. She got hired straight away, and there was definitely better schools out there, but she got a job offer like right away, which was cool. But anyway, back to the whole race thing. With Indian people, there's a stereotype that like they smell or whatever, and that's just the food they eat, I guess. I guess the stereotype is completely true. That's one of those instances where I find that most Indian people are very cultural, and so they're gonna smell. I mean, they're not all gonna smell, obviously, and I don't know. It's just one of those true stereotypes. Not all of them smell. Probably 80% of them do, because 80% of the ones I know, their parents are pretty new to America, so they're really big on the whole curry and whatever you say. I think curry's pretty good, actually. Indian food is pretty good in general. I like it, but yeah, a lot of them eat a lot of that stuff, and that stuff does make you smell. Yeah, definitely. What are the races? White people are. I don't even know. I don't know too many stereotypes about me, but there probably are numerous that I completely fulfill. Yeah, basically just in general. What is another one? Yeah, I can't really think right now, but basically I think what people need to realize, like, just treat. I don't know if I want special treatment or just complete non-special treatment. I mean, because everybody's a human here, everybody's equal. If they're fighting for equality, if everybody wants to be equal, then shouldn't we treat them all equal, But at the same time, you can't necessarily do that because people are going to get angry, blah, 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 X, Y, Z. So yeah, God, there's one point I just wanted to make, and I just completely zoned out on it. What? It's really just escaped me. It was right on the tip of my tongue, and then it just like vanished, like a snap of a finger. But really, I just think, basically the whole point of this is that, I don't know, stereotypes generally are true. People who say that's, like, when you say like stereotypes, it's not really racist. I mean, it is, okay, whatever, it's racist, but at the same time, if it's completely true, you shouldn't do it the way I said I don't do it, which is, this person's this, so they're probably this. You should do it the other way. I mean, if this person is doing this, and they're this, then bam, there's your stereotype. That way, I guess it's more acceptable because stereotypes are true. They didn't just come into existence for no reason. You shouldn't necessarily judge someone on them, but you can definitely, you do recognize pattern. The point of this commentary was basically to, point out that treat people with respect if they deserve it. Don't give people special treatment. Most of the time, they'd rather be treated as people than as like, someone different, because people are people. Blah blah blah. Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking about that topic and take a look at the gameplay. This is my first game of League of Legends ever. This is the first 11 minutes I played. There was a little bit of a break because I accidentally stopped recording for a couple minutes. So yeah, this is like the first 11 minutes of gameplay or something. Basically, I suck. I didn't know what I was doing. Just basically everything was bad this game. I don't know why, but it recorded in a really low resolution, so I'm gonna have to adjust that. But yeah, basically, obviously it's not the whole game, but we did end up winning. I don't know how. I really have no idea. I didn't know what to do. That's for sure. Basically, by the end of this match, I kind of got the hang of it, but still, I was like, who? Like, what? I don't know. So, yeah. Basically, yeah, so remember what I said, take it into account, give me some feedback. What do you think? I'm expecting trolls. I know there's going to be trolls. But there's also going to be people with valid points, and I'm going to have to think about them. Because I'm willing to, if someone presents a very, like, intelligent conversation or counterpoint, I'm going to think about it. Maybe I'll incorporate it. Maybe I'll even change my views a little bit to incorporate that counterpoint. Don't just flame me. Maybe give me a like if you enjoyed it and like what I had to say. And comment if you think I was wrong. You know, and tell me what you think. And don't just flame it. If you do flame it, I'll read it and I'll probably give you some smart ass remarks back. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Barrel Fox, and I hope you enjoyed this commentary.
An enemy has been slain.